Hey, shalom y'all. It's a beautiful spring day here in the mountains. We're just getting started. A lot of people aren't doing what they normally be doing this time of year because, well, you know why. But I wanted to bring to you guys a little project that I'm doing here that I think you might be able to do for yourself in your own backyard. It might give the kids something to do when everybody's just a little stir crazy inside. So here what we have is we're going to make a cargo net. Now a cargo net is a large sort of climbing apparatus that you might see at a lot of playgrounds. It's also used for a lot of other reasons, like netting cargo. But a cargo net is a great thing that you can do by yourself and you can enjoy with your kids. It's simple, it's a little tedious, but it's a lot of fun and it's something they can enjoy for hours and hours. So let me show you what we've got here. So for my rope, I've chosen this heavy-duty diamond braid rope. This we picked up in Home Depot, and these come in 100-foot sizes, and the rope itself will hold 310 pounds, so that's going to be enough for even several kids, or if one or two adults wants to get up on there. At least one adult should be able to get up there without an issue. So this comes wrapped up nicely. You can just unwrap it when you get it, and now we'll go on to methodology. So you can see here that I have two different colors in a rope. This is going to give me a much easier time in building the net because I'll be able to see which rope is which, and it's also going to give it a slightly nicer aesthetic look when we finish. I've chosen to make the cargo net just about 20 feet long and about 5 or 6 feet wide. Now it's going to depend a little bit because as you're going about the process, unless you're very meticulous, you won't get exactly the size you want. And that's okay for me because I'm making this as something for kids to play with. It doesn't have to be precise. I'm not selling it to anyone or anything like that. But I've cut these ropes into 20-foot lengths. So I have here 5 20-foot lengths of yellow rope. And then for the outside, I have 2 20-foot lengths of black rope. If you have more yellow rope, you can put yellow rope on the outside too. It's really aesthetically whatever's better looking to you and whatever's easier for you to work with as far as tying the knots. Now let's get to how to start our rope to becoming a cargo net. Once we've cut these ropes, especially these plastic-based ones, they fray at the ends. So we don't want our whole rope to unravel. What I've done is I've put a knot here in the end, just a single regular overhand knot, and that'll keep that from fraying. You can also use a heat source like a flame to melt them, and then you can touch the burning piece to a rock and that will sort of congeal it into one thing. I prefer this method because when you melt them, they're a little jagged at the end, and I don't like that idea for the kids' hands that, you know, they might get scratched or whatever. It would just be annoying. So I've decided to tie mine off. I think it makes for a softer and a little bit more rugged look to the net. So the knot we'll be using today to make our cargo net is the 2-strand crown knot. Now there are all sorts of ways that you can learn to make the 2-strand crown knot. I'm going to show you the way that's easiest for me to remember, and you can either adopt my method or look around and find your own, or just experiment. First of all, we want to start with an S shape. Now I know this isn't the correct way an S should face, but it's this idea that we have 2 loops on either side, 1 loop, 2 loop, and we've got the string coming out in 2 different directions. Now that's very important for our cargo net because we want these knots to be square and to have 4 ropes coming off, 1 in each different direction. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our other strand and we're going to bring it down and we're going to pass it through our first loop, our top loop. Not over a string, let's pass it through a loop. We're going to go under, over, and over. Pull enough slack down so we have what to work with. And then we're going to go on the other side. Since we were just over, we're now going to go under, under, and under. So now we haven't changed anything. We were just over when we finished, and now we're going under everything in the loop. Now we'll draw out some more slack, and don't worry that this is big. Don't worry about that, because we can make it a lot smaller really easily. Look at where we just were. We were just under. Now we're going to go over, again, and under. So that's 2 overs and 1 under to finish it off. Over here we had 1 under and we had 2 overs. Here we have 2 overs and 1 under. So they're both opposites. In the middle is all 1 under. Or if you reverse this, it would all be on top. But for right now, the middle is all 1 under. So now we've got our 2 S shapes with 2 loops and 2 ends, and each end goes out in a different direction. 4 directions. Now we're going to slowly tighten this knot up. Now you don't want to just pull and yank. You want to slowly tighten it up so you can appreciate what's happening here. Trust me, this is a lot faster once you have the hang of it. And it's going to make, slowly but surely, a nice square knot. As we brought our knot in closer and closer and tightened each strand one at a time, we will now get this beautiful square knot where 1 rope comes out in each direction. So that's our knot. So to start off our cargo net, we'll take our 2 corner ropes. In my case, that's one of the long black ropes and another long black rope. So whether you're making a rectangle or a square, you want to take your 2 ropes that are going to touch each other at the corner. You'll make our nice knot that we mentioned just before, right here on the corner. And then you'll have 2 pieces of rope just hanging off of it. Then we'll move down 1 piece of rope to the interval we've chosen. I've chosen a 1 foot interval. I think that's a good interval for people's feet to be able to catch a hold. It's not too high for the kids, and it's also not too close together that it'll take you a very long time to make your net. Then come down your next interval, which for me is about a foot, and you'll take your second rope and you'll make the same knot. Our same nice knot. And this time you can pull, because you're on the edge, you can pull this all the way down. This is our top knot we made, so nothing would fray. You can pull that all the way down to here. So instead of having it hang out far away, like this one is, you can pull this little knot all the way down to our squarish knot right here. You want to move down the line, on this outside line, making the same knots over and over again and pulling them down. Okay? Next, we'll come down the line and we'll do the same thing over again. This is our first knot we made. Now we'll come down to our second knot. We'll make our second knot right here, and we'll do the exact same thing. Continue on our way and making more knots as we go further down. This gives us our first square line. Continue with this system of making more knots down the line until we get to the bottom of our net. So here we go, guys. After a couple hours of tying and cutting and 1 missed measurement, we have the completed cargo net. As you can see, it's nice and long, and it could be a great toy to put up, hang up for the kids, and a fun project that you can do even with older kids. It's definitely adding value to your playground experience.